Hello, hello. Welcome to Boys on Film. My name is Phil Marriott, hosting this chat with two other big movie fans, big movie buffs. Today we're talking about M3GAN, which is the creepy yet hilarious life-size humanoid robot doll that seems to dance and sing. We have Matt from Microfilm and we have Sean from Unflopped, who have both seen this film and I haven't seen it. I'm totes jealous. Who saw it first? I think you might have seen it first, Matt.
I think it came out in the US maybe a week before you guys got it, so it's been about 2 weeks, I think.
Because at one point prior to... Hi everyone, by the way. At some point prior to the reviews by the critics and journalists, it was at 98%, which is higher than Godfather 2, which is a lol.
It's unheard of, isn't it? Particularly for a horror. But we were just discussing before we started recording, it's not really a horror, is it?
It's horror.
God, Matt, I think I feel like you're going to say something inspired and I'm going to say something lame. So you say the inspired thing.
Well, this is weird because we talked about this before. Sean, you're not a horror fan. What the f*** is going on? You've gone to see M3GAN. Matt, you are the horror fan. Obviously, you've seen this. So I think Matt is probably the best person to answer this question.
Technically, yes. Realistically, not really. Maybe if you're like a 10-year-old. Maybe.
Sean?
I'm not a horror fan. Regular listeners and viewers will know that I am not a horror fan. Not in my wheelhouse. This, for me, triggered something different. It hit different for me. Yes, I am like a 10-year-old teenage girl, and I know that. There was something about the run-up to this film. A lot of friends in LA saying, you've got to go and see this. It's like ridiculous. And then just some of the queer coding that I want to talk about that was just quite amazing. So yes, I'm not a horror fan. Yes, I'm a 10-year-old teenage girl. Yes, I like the film.
It's directed by Gerard Johnstone because it's written by Akela Cooper from a story by Cooper and James Wan, and obviously James Wan, a big name in horror.
It follows the story of Katie, who is this young girl who very early on in the film loses her parents in a car crash. She goes to live with her auntie, Gemma, who is like some robotics engineer, tech whiz, works at a toy factory, making what appeared to be like a knockoff Furby. In her spare time, Gemma, because she's such a robotics whiz, is working on this doll called M3GAN, which is like, I think it's like mechanical 3 generation or like something. M3GAN stands for something.
Yeah, mechanical 3 generation android.
Android,
maybe?
Yeah. So Gemma's working on this thing, right? She's really clever, and you know she does all of those mistakes where she starts to just feed it loads of AI, but puts no protocols around it, so you know like it's gonna go really, really, really twisted at some point. One of my favorite bits is where she forgets to code it around what death is, which is kind of a signpost. So you know, here's a doll. Fully like sentient, doesn't know what death is. You know where you're going. Katie forms some attachment issues with M3GAN. M3GAN comes home. She's quite fierce as a doll. And then the fun starts because M3GAN starts to learn, but not always in the right way.
Well, the first trailer for this was released back in October and it had Taylor Swift's It's Nice to Have a Friend as the soundtrack to the trailer. And then after the premiere, that clip of M3GAN dancing was released, and I saw Barbarian at the cinema, and they showed this trailer before Barbarian, and the whole place just erupted. Everybody was laughing out loud, and it was proper cheering and screaming, and it was like a frenzied response to this trailer. And at the time, I thought, okay, this film probably is going to be a bit naff. But boy, was I wrong, because everybody's lapping it up.
Yeah, I wonder if they knew how much it was going to be received as a comedy, like a dark comedy versus a serious drama with little bits of kind of humor in it.
I am with you. It's really camp. Next level, like Showgirls camp. It's like full on. I went to the Everyman because I thought, I'm going to make it into date night. So I went to the Everyman with my husband. We sat on one of those big sofas. I had a bottle of sparkling water because it's dry January. Half the cinema who were queer just spent the whole film laughing all the way through. And then the other half of the cinema who were non-queer were like, oh, this is kind of ridiculous. But generally, there was quite an energy in the cinema. It was quite a fun film to watch in that kind of auditorium. There's just moments all the way through about how they have built M3GAN, like the eye rolls, the way she looks at people, the pause, the way she phrases sentences, the way she looks, her wigs that are just queer coded. And so every bit of it, like the bit where they choose her wig, I was pissing myself with laughing. I was like, yes, choose M3GAN's wig.
So
like,
you were on the sparkling water. Did it feel like you'd had a boozy night at the cinema? Did it give you that feeling of feeling quite...
Well, my husband just kept grabbing me to stop me from laughing because there is a moment, and Matt, you'll know this, where she sings a lullaby.
I've heard about
I'm not going to say what the lullaby is.
I think I know what it is.
I was like, I'm done. This is right and correct. But that's where I think Akela Cooper, who is a real rising star, there's something about the way that they have thought about M3GAN as a character and what she represents. And so, against this backdrop of something quite sad around Katie losing her parents, you've got this doll who's just a bit like a really salty gay, who's just like there going, like it's just too much. It's just too much. But it makes it for great viewing.
I was gonna love it. The minute I saw the preview with her dancing down the hallway and doing flips and stuff, which is a minor part of the movie, and there's no explanation how she's a dancing superstar. Of course, they don't explain that. She just does it. She just
they don't have to, do they? They don't have to.
No, but that alone, especially as the kind of teaser trailer before it even came out, just kind of puts it in that camp category that they must have known that that's what people would receive, right? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, they've got the marketing spot on, haven't they?
Oh yeah, they know what they're doing. And the doll is so great that it doesn't even, it's many times it's just sitting there like inactive, just sitting. And it has tons of side eyes throughout the whole movie where someone will do something evil or mean and she'll just do that side eye like, I'm gonna kill you. But without having to open her mouth. It's so perfect.
The iography of M3GAN is quite amazing because she's doing so much. But it's that saltiness. Like, you know, you've been in the pub, someone makes a comment and someone just glances. They've somehow captured that pure essence and they've fed it in again. Like, it's quite special. The storyline is wafer thin, Phil. Wafer thin. Like, you could have written it at GPT. Like, it's wafer thin. But it doesn't matter. Because you're like, I know what's going to happen. I kind of get it. I've seen Chucky 20 years ago. I get it. Right? But that's not the point. In some ways, the plot is just redundant. It's like M3GAN. It's just like a 2-hour, like, M3GAN show. It's amazing.
So the campness, where does that come from? Because obviously the director is a straight man, I'm guessing, because he has 2 sons. I think he's a straight guy. Akela Cooper, I've no idea. Where does that campness come? Because that is a real nod, isn't it, to queer culture, maybe, or what the gays would get.
Do you know something? Maybe they have a version of it in the UK called American Girl. Do they have a British Girl? Do you know what that is? It's a doll, a series of dolls that are historical. So it's like, I'll have to send you the link. It's creepy. So there's like not just like products where there's dolls and books and movies. There's stores. They're called American Girl Place, where it's dolls dressed up in like historical costumes, not as big, not life size like M3GAN, but like big doll size, super creepy, doll mania, scary place. So maybe the writers saw that and was like, this is, I mean, to a little girl it's probably fun, but to an adult it's like, this is, most adults I think dolls are creepy, right? That's not just me, right?
You know, for a horror, were either of you scared? I mean, Matt, you're, obviously a hardened horror fan. Not scared at all.
The bit with the boy's ear was a bit gross.
Now I'm intrigued.
There was some like, first of all, even though it's kind of a campy, like trashy film, the production design of it and everything is top tier. Cinematography is amazing. Everything looks fantastic. So it doesn't look cheap at all. It doesn't look like a cheap B movie. It looks like a super slick Hollywood A movie, but doing crazy camp, over the top things.
I had this like ongoing WhatsApp VM voicemail thread thing going on with some of my girls in LA, and we were trying to put our finger on it because we just couldn't, other than gagging on the lullaby. There's something quite drag queen-esque about M3GAN. Because she wears these slightly ridiculous outfits that a girl of 10 wouldn't wear. They're like, quite kind of like precocious outfits for a 10-year-old, and they're quite over the top. Then you layer on a wig and you basically got a drag queen. And so I think some of that plays into the queer coding of a lot of queer people going, lol, Megan's quite it, isn't she? Because she isn't just like a girl in a romper or like a pair of dungarees. She's like dressed up. And there's a moment where she puts on these big sunglasses. Like, it's all quite ridiculously camp, but it has got a drag queen element to it, which is, I think, again, there's this signposting that other people straight people might just go, oh yeah, there's a doll with a pair of glasses on. And I was like screaming and keying and going, yes, look at those glasses. Like,
the glamour is real. The glamour is real. And it's funny, isn't it? Because even you look at Megan on the poster, and she is giving attitude just with that glance. And
with the head tilt.
Yeah, she does the head tilt, and then she does the eye,
and the hair. It is like, I'm the bitch. That's what she's saying. She's like, I'm the bitch that's going to kill you. So don't mess with me.
There's a bit at the end where Megan's in a fight, and her hair gets caught. The wig gets caught, and it kind of winds around, and then it pulls a massive clump of the wig out of her hair, and then she turns to camera, and I was literally dead. But she's still giving like full sass, full Megan.
Oh yeah,
and
it was
she's
full.
got this massive clump of hair missing, but she's still giving Megan. And I was like, I'm dead. Get me out of the cinema. Someone wheel me out of the cinema. It's too much.
I love it. I love it.
It was very lip sync for your life. And she
was
very
lip sync for your life. It was too much. I was just like, this film is too much. I kind of want to go and see it again.
So the final verdict then for the Boys on Film star rating.
Well, I have a little piece of information that might whet your appetite a little bit. I just read yesterday that they've greenlit M3GAN 2.
Wow.
With the same cast, Allison Williams, whatever her character's name is. Her and the niece will come back for M3GAN 2.
That doesn't
surprise me. And that's going to come out in like 2 years, I think.
Wait, do you know what? That doesn't surprise me, because this cost $12 million to make, and it's made over 100 already. So this is a big money earner.
But back to the rating, 4 stars. 4 stars.
Fabulous.
Sean, no question.
I've got a funny feeling you're going to be the same, Sean. Just because it entertained you.
I was entertained. And I am traditionally a hard marker.
You are.
The hardest. But I'm almost giving this 5 stars.
Wow. I'm gagged.
It was just really enjoyable. Like, it was just no holes barred. It wasn't pretentious. It wasn't like, some coming of age story nonsense. It wasn't in a foreign language. It wasn't like all the films that I normally watch. It wasn't like, some like trauma. It wasn't like, it was actually just camp stupidness in a way. And I want to see it again. Now, that for me is a glowing recommendation. So I'm giving it 5 stars. Yes, M3GAN, come through.
From what you both have said, it sounds like it's a film made by filmmakers that know that it's not going to win Oscars or anything. It's a film that's just a crowd pleaser, and it's kind of tongue in cheek. Am I right? Am I right in thinking that?
100%.
All I keep seeing is people saying, "I've got my Halloween costume sorted." There was a full routine of like 10 gays in wigs doing a routine at the top of the Empire State Building. Like, it is a phenomenon. Get behind it. Park all of your pretensions. It's a great movie.
It could be your film of the year, Sean. M3GAN, 5 star.
I remember last year you said some right old nonsense for your film of the year. Didn't you say something like Cruella?
I knew you were going to pick up on that. I love Cruella. I'm standing by that. I'm not.
You love.
Not wavering. Well, I can't agree with you because I haven't seen it, but I'm just going to take your word for it that it is a big Boys on Film banger, M3GAN.
When you see it, Phil, you will want to do the M3GAN. The scene in M3GAN when she's with the niece friend, where she does the, like, head roll.
I will learn it.
You'll totally want to do that. When she throws her arms around in the hallway back and forth and does the flip.
Wow, I can't wait to do that, and tell you what I thought. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.
Bye.
Can't do it.